Hatt Clan Fam? We got a super awesome lesson planned this week. We're checking out Novocation's Changes. This is an awesome tune. It was a request by one of you guys down in the comment section. It's off one of their EP albums. So let's zoom in on the neck and break it on down. Alright, this is a super chill song with only a few different chords that we have to worry about, and then we'll get into all the lead bits. But let's talk about the chord structure first. So I'm in the key of A, and I'm really just doing a 1 to a 4 progression. You don't have to worry about what that means, but we'll get into it. Now, Novocation has used these chord shapes on a lot of their different songs. I've talked about these in other videos, but really what I'm doing here is I'm playing major 7th chords without a major 3rd, which I find interesting. These chords are comprised of a root 5th and major 7th, which is really interesting. So what I'm doing here is I have my first finger on the 5th fret of the low E string. I have my 3rd finger on the A string 7th fret, and then my middle finger is going to go to the 6th fret of the D string. And the rest of these strings are going to be muted. So I have it like this. It's almost like a major 7 power chord. Now that'll take care of our A major 7. Now I need to slide this down a set of strings. And this will get our D major 7. So I'm thinking, so 5th fret of the A, 7th fret of the D, 6th fret of the G. And then nothing on the 2 outer strings and the middle 2 strings here. So I'm gonna just kind of use that bar to try to get your finger to mute the rest of the strings. And basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna have 4 measures per chord, and we're gonna have this kind of quick little pop rhythm strum, and it's gonna happen pretty fast. And I'm thinking like, almost like a 16th note rhythm. Now that chord progression right there is going to take care of your intro, your verses, and your chorus. But then we have to talk about the outro of the song. So there's like this huge fade out section of the song, and that's like the coolest part of the song in my opinion, and I want to talk about the chord structure for that. So again, the A major 7 and the D major 7 is going to take care of your intro, your verses, and your chorus, and it's going to be that same exact rhythm. Have 4 bars per chord. Now when the fade out starts to come in, you're going to do the same exact chords, but now you're going to do it to a bar, and you'll have to listen to the recording. I have the recording in the description to get all these parts kind of together. But now you're only going to do 1 bar per chord, and it's just going to be all downstrokes. And then you're going to have this part. This part. Anyway, we'll talk about the lead parts in a bit here, but once you get to that outro part, you're going to have this D power chord to a B power chord. And what I'm up here is I'm on the 10th fret, on 10 and 12, and then on 7 and 9. On the E and A string. So D power chord for 1 bar. So again, here's the verses and the chorus parts. Here's the top of the fade out. That's going to take care of all of the bits. Now let's jump into the lead bits because I know this is the most exciting. Alright, so where I'm getting these leads are actually coming out of the third position of the A major pentatonic. So this is where these leads are coming out of. So really what I'm plugging the shape in is around that position here at the 12th and 9th fret. So this first kind of idea that we're gonna do is a triplet rhythm. So it took me quite a while to kind of figure out how to get this, because it actually happens pretty quick too, and it's like. So what you're doing there is you're doing a triplet rhythm, so you're putting 3 basically notes in 1 count. So triple-a, triple-a, triple-a. So if I'm giving myself a count, triple-a, 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 triple-a. So that's kind of tricky, but what I'm doing here is I got my pinky finger on the 12th fret of the high E. And my picking pattern is I'm doing a quick down, up, down. So down, up, down. So real nice and slow. Down, up, down. But then once you get it all together, and it happens really, really fast like that. What I would try to recommend doing is if you could do it just as a strum, like try to just do it as a full strum instead of just picking it, and just get used to that concept. And then you apply that into practice. See, sometimes my pick even wants to get stuck. So what I also am doing is when I'm picking is I almost have my pick at kind of an angle on the string. So that way I'm not going straight across. And if you can even start to practice just tremolo picking, that'll help you too, to kind of get that. And I would just practice that real nice and slow. And then work it into speed. So anyway, we're gonna do that on the 12th fret of the high E. And then I'm gonna jump down to the 9th fret on the high E. So the note wise we have this. So I'm gonna go 12 on the high E, 9 on the high E, 10 on the B, 9 on the B, and then 11 on the G. So those are the notes that we're playing. But then when you add in the triplet rhythm, I only play it over top of the chords. Now there's this little arpeggio type thing. Now what I'm doing here is I have this little major 6 triad. Super, super cool, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm putting my 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the G, my 1st finger is gonna go to the 7th fret of the B, and my pinky finger is gonna go to the 9th fret of the high E. And then I'm just gonna pick this out. What I'm doing as far as the picking is I'm going G, B, E, and I'm going back up it. So down through all the strings, G, B, E, and then E, B, G. And then slide that shape down. So all together, when you have the lick, play this with the chords. So let this cycle through here. And again, this is going to happen all over the verses parts. Super cool, right? Now, that's gonna take care of all the verse bits. Now, when it comes to the outro and the fade out, there's this cool line that happens like this. I love that half step bend. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing a little bar on the 9th fret of the B and G string, and my 3rd finger is going to come over to the 11th fret of the D. And I'm going to do the same exact picking pattern that I did up here, but now just on the D, G, and B string. So I'm going to go D, G, B, G, D, G, B, G. So, and now I'm going to come down to an A major triad. I'm going to do that same exact picking pattern. And then I'm going to do a half step bend on the C sharp note to the D. So that's going to happen throughout the entire outro and the fade out. Super, super cool, right? With all the delay and stuff, it just sounds like all this kind of like nebulous, kind of cool sound. It sounds like, I just love that half step bend. So you just have to pull that down to get that D note. And then you're gonna do a quick little release, so bend and release. So now let me play all the parts together, just so that you have an idea of how it all kind of fits together. So you have your verse chords, as we talked about. And then you have your fade out. Verse chords, you have the and then on the fade out I should also note that during the chorus parts and the verses, there's these little kind of like all this like, you know, tremolo whammy bar stuff. If you don't have one of those, that's okay, but basically what they're doing there is the lead guitarist is doing these whammy effects. So basically what you could do too for this, if you don't have a whammy bar, I think I've talked about this in other lessons where like I'm going to grab this D major 7 chord up here, staircase shape, so from the D string you have 12 and then G 11, then B 12, 10 and then 9 on the high E. And what I'm doing here is I'm strumming that chord, pulling back on the neck and getting that whammy effect. Be careful with how much pressure you want to do that. You don't want to break your neck. And then I'm sliding that same exact shape down to an A major 7. Alright y'all, that was the video. I hope you really liked it. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing and hitting that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. I want to personally welcome you to the Hatt Clan Fam, and I'll catch you all in the next video.